Good morning, friends. I hope everyone is doing well. I request everyone to watch my videos in a sequence for better understanding. If you really like my videos, please press the like button, share the videos with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and also press the bell button to get the regular updates. In the last few videos, we have discussed that medium access control mechanisms are broadly classified into three types. One is random access mechanisms, channelization mechanisms, and controlled mechanisms. Am I right? Now, in the last few videos, I have even discussed about the random access mechanisms in detail. One is the pure Aloha, slotted Aloha, CSMA mechanism, and CSMA by CD mechanism. In this video, I want to discuss about the controlled access mechanisms. One is the token passing mechanism, reservation mechanism, and the polling mechanism. And in the next video, I will discuss about the channelization mechanisms such as TDMA, FDMA, and CDMA. So let me discuss about the controlled access mechanisms in this video. I request everyone to watch the complete video for a better understanding. Okay, as I said earlier, the controlled access mechanisms, we have three mechanisms. One is reservation, then token passing, and polling mechanism. So let me discuss about the reservation mechanism. Okay, in the reservation mechanism, we have two frames. One is that reservation frame, and then we have a data frame. The reservation frame is useful to reserve the data frame, and using the data frame, the node will send the actual data. Now, what the reservation frame structure will be? Like, let's take that if you have 4 nodes in the network and these 4 nodes are connected to a common medium or a shared medium, then what it will be done? The reservation frame consists of 4 slots. Okay, node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. So, during the reservation frame, if node want to transfer the data, it can reserve the data frame by keeping 1. If it keeps 0, then meaning is that it is not interested to transfer the data or it does not have any data to transfer. So, each node can keep the reservation frame as 1 or 0. If it is 1, it wants to transfer the data. If it is 0, it does not want to transfer the data. Suppose let's take that 1 0 1 0 is there. Meaning is that node 1 and node 3 want to transfer the data. Node 2 and node 4 does not want to transfer the data. Then how the data will be done is that now during the data frame, so node 1 can transfer the entire data. Then node 3 will send the data. Are you able to understand? Because node 1 have reserved for the data frame, so it will use the data frame and transfer the data. Then node 3 will transfer the data. Then again, once the node 1 and node 3 completed their data transfer, again the reservation frame will come. Now those who want to transfer the data, again they will give their priority. Priority means they will keep whether it is 1 or 0. Let's take that now it is 0 0 1 0. Now only node 3 want to transfer the data. Then what will happen? Again node 3 will get the data frame and it will transfer the data. Once the node 3 finish its data, then again reservation frame will come. Okay, are you able to understand? So you will have a reservation frame and you will have the data frames. So during the reservation frame, each node can keep its value whether it is 1 or 0. If it is 1, then meaning is that node want to transfer the data. If it is 0, node does not have any data to transfer. Then once this reservation frame completes, then we will get the data frames. Using the data frames, the nodes will transfer the data. Once the data transfer is finished, then again reservation frame will come. So this is the way the reservation mechanism will work. Here there is no collisions and will not happen. Am I right? Because the data frames are fixed to the particular node. Okay. So now we will discuss the next mechanism in the controlled access mechanism, which is a token passing mechanism. Okay, token passing mechanism will be there. Here you will have a token. Each in the network you will have a token. Now what will happen, let's take that you have 4 nodes, node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. 4 nodes are there and all are them sharing a common transmission medium. Now what will happen if all start transferring the data, there will be a collision. So how to avoid the collision is that using the token passing mechanism, we will have a token. If any node have the token, then only it can transfer the data. So the token will be passed in the network. The node which want to transfer the data, it has to capture the token and it has to transfer the data. Meaning is that the node which have the data and also the token, they can only transfer the data. Now if you see that as we have only single token, only one node can capture at a time. So here the node 1 has captured the token so that it can transfer the data. So other nodes will not transfer the data because they don't have the token. So it will avoid the collision. I hope you have understood how we will avoid the collision using the token passing mechanism. We will use the token passing mechanism in token ring and token bus. When I am discussing about the token ring mechanism, which is a LAN technology, there I will discuss about in detail. Okay, so now let me discuss the next mechanism, which is a polling mechanism. Okay, during the polling mechanism, what will happen that among n nodes, one node will act as a master node and all n minus 1 nodes will just follow the instructions of the master node. Okay, now what the master node will do is that it will poll the data. Meaning is that if let's take that node 1, node 2, node 3 is there, first it will ask the node 1, does you have any data to transfer? Okay, if it has a data to transfer, then it will allow the node 1 to transfer the data. Then it will ask the node 2 whether you have any data to transfer. Then node 2 is allowed to transfer the data. So when the node 2 is transferring the data, other nodes are not transferring the data. So there is no collisions in this one. Okay, similarly once node 2 is finished, then it will ask the node 3 whether you have any data to transfer. If it have any data to transfer, then it will not transfer. Otherwise it will say that I don't have any data to transfer. Then it will ask the node 4. Is it clear? So using the round robin mechanism, the master node will ask the each node whether you have any data to transfer. So if the node have any data to transfer, then it will transfer. Otherwise it will not transfer. So you have a polling period and then you have a data transfer period. Are you able to understand it or not? You will have a polling period. During the polling period, master node will ask the node whether you have a data to transfer. Let's take that node 1 does not have a data to transfer. Then it will ask the node 2 to check whether you have any data to transfer. If it have, then it will transfer. So this one we will call it as a polling period. Then the data transfer will be happening. So I hope you have understood all the controlled access mechanisms such as reservation, token passing mechanism and polling mechanism. If you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts in less than 24 hours. In the next video, I will discuss about the channelization mechanisms such as time division multiple access, frequency division multiple access and code division multiple access. I request everyone to watch my videos in a sequence. If you really like my videos, please press the like button, share the videos with your friends, subscribe to my channel and also press the bell button to get the regular updates. Thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day.